Act 1, Roots of Conflict, 19th century, early 20th century. Our narrative begins in the late 19th century when nationalist sentiments and movements were sweeping across Europe. Against this backdrop, the Zionist movement emerged, advocating for the establishment of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. The influx of Jewish immigrants increased tensions with the Arab population, setting the stage for a long and complex struggle. Act 2, World War I and the Balfour Declaration, 1917. The winds of change blew through the Middle East during World War I. In 1917, the Balfour Declaration expressed British support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. However, this declaration created conflicting promises to both Jews and Arabs. Act 3, Mandate Period and Rising Tensions, 1920s, 1940s. As the League of Nations granted Britain the mandate over Palestine, tensions between Jewish and Arab communities escalated. The struggle for land and identity intensified, fueled by waves of Jewish immigration and Arab resistance. The stage was set for a clash that would shape the destiny of the region. Act 4, the UN Partition Plan and the Birth of Israel, 1947-1948. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan, dividing Palestine into Jewish and Arab states. The plan was accepted by the Jewish leadership but rejected by Arab leaders. The declaration of the State of Israel in 1948 led to the First Arab-Israeli War, marking the beginning of a protracted conflict. Act 5, Wars and Shifting Borders, 1950s-1967. The 1950s and 1960s witnessed regional wars and skirmishes with borders constantly shifting. The Six-Day War in 1967 resulted in Israel gaining control of the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Gaza Strip. The occupation of these territories became a source of deep-seated animosity. Act 6, the Oslo Accords and Hope for Peace, 1990s. In the 1990s, hope flickered on the horizon with the Oslo Accords. Secret negotiations between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, resulted in mutual recognition and limited Palestinian self-rule. However, the promise of lasting peace remained elusive. Act 7, Second Intifada and Unilateral Withdrawal, 2000s. The early 2000s saw the outbreak of the Second Intifada, characterized by violence and upheaval. In 2005, Israel unilaterally withdrew from the Gaza Strip, a move intended to promote peace but one that also fueled internal Palestinian strife. Act 8, Gaza Wars and Ongoing Struggles, 2000s, 2020s. The Gaza Strip became a focal point for conflict, marked by wars between Israel and Hamas. Operations Cast Lead, Pillar of Defense, and Protective Edge left scars on both sides as civilians bore the brunt of the violence. The ongoing struggle for land, resources, and recognition continued to shape the narrative. Act 9, Stalled Peace and International Dynamics, 2020s. As we approach the present day, peace remains elusive. The two-state solution, a vision of coexistence, faces numerous obstacles. International diplomacy struggles to find common ground, and the people of Israel and Palestine yearn for a resolution that respects their shared history and divergent aspirations. Act 10, Peace Initiatives and Regional Dynamics, 2020s, continued. As the 2020s unfold, international actors intensify efforts to break the deadlock. Various peace initiatives and negotiations aim to address the core issues, from borders and refugees to the status of Jerusalem. The role of regional powers, including Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia, becomes crucial in shaping the diplomatic landscape. Act 11, Grassroots Movements and Civil Society, 2020s, continued. Simultaneously, grassroots movements gain momentum. Civil society groups on both sides advocate for dialogue, reconciliation, and a just resolution to the conflict. The power of ordinary people to bridge divides and foster understanding becomes a beacon of hope amid political complexities. Act 12, Shifting Alliances and Global Influences, 2020s, continued. The geopolitical landscape undergoes transformations. Shifting alliances and global influences redefine the dynamics of the conflict. New players on the world stage engage in diplomatic efforts, while the United Nations and other international organizations continue to grapple with the complexities of finding a sustainable solution. Act 13, Technology and Innovation in Conflict Resolution, 2020s, continued. In this era of rapid technological advancement, innovative approaches to conflict resolution emerge. Virtual dialogues, artificial intelligence, and other technological tools play a role in fostering communication and understanding among communities on both sides. The potential for technology to contribute to peace becomes a key theme. Act 14, Environmental challenges and shared resources, 2020s, continued. Environmental challenges, such as water scarcity and climate change, add a new dimension to the conflict. As both Israelis and Palestinians face common threats to their ecosystems, the need for cooperative solutions becomes apparent. The shared struggle against environmental degradation prompts conversations on mutual interests and interdependence. Act 15, Cultural Exchange and Shared Narratives, 2020s, continued. Cultural exchange programs and initiatives promoting shared narratives gain prominence. Literature, art, and educational exchanges contribute to humanizing the other and challenging stereotypes. People-to-people connections become a driving force for building bridges and fostering empathy. Act 16, Reconciliation and Healing, 2020s, continued. As diplomatic efforts progress, a parallel movement for reconciliation and healing gains momentum. Truth and Reconciliation Commissions explore historical grievances, providing a platform for acknowledging past injustices and building a foundation for a shared future. Act 17, A New Chapter, Future. Our extended narrative concludes with the dawn of a new chapter. The protagonists, shaped by the collective efforts of nations, communities, and individuals, stand on the threshold of a historic breakthrough. The resolution to the Israel-Palestine conflict is achieved through a combination of diplomatic finesse, grassroots movements, technological innovation, and a shared commitment to coexistence. The tale that began with discord and strife evolves into a story of resilience, transformation, and the enduring human spirit. The lessons learned from the past, the struggles of the present, and the collaborative efforts of diverse voices converge to create a path toward a future where the people of Israel and Palestine coexist in peace, mutual respect, and shared prosperity.